everyone, Molly and Chenny here. We are in Sweden for round 2 of the World Rally Championship, and this is about as close to my home rally as you'll get. I live in this climate, you know.
Why is it when I'm breathing, like there's like loads of steam coming out of my mouth? You can tell you're acclimatised to it because you're not. There's nothing happening, but I'm breathing fire.
Can you believe it?
Cold.
This is one of the fastest rallies on our calendar on this surface where we can hardly walk 5 meters without almost falling over.
Yeah, look, it's a phenomenal rally, isn't it? I think we're going to have a great weekend, and as you said, conditions are perfect, aren't they, Molly? And that all comes from that studded tyre, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later on. But yeah, it's mental to think that this is one of the fastest rallies of the year. Probably the fastest, actually, average speed-wise.
Yeah, last year, average speed across the whole rally, 141 kilometers an hour. Over the whole rally, that's 18 stages. That is mad. Madness. But anyway, I absolutely love this rally because, you know, you've got these high snow banks. You know, the cars look great with the snowy background as well. You mentioned it, the studded tyre, and just the insane speed that they're going at.
It's very, very unique, isn't it, Molsky? You know, like it's the only full winter rally that we're doing this year. So you mentioned the snowbanks. You've got to be very careful because they're either hard walls of ice that you can lean the back of the car against, but it'll probably pull the bumper off, damage the wings, so you can end up damaging the aero of the car. And then there's the complete flip side where they look hard, you lean against them, and actually they completely give way. And we've seen it so many times in the past. The car just gets sucked in, and unless there's spectators there, it's a big job to get those out with the shovels. So yeah, it's a very, very special place. There's so much to talk about here, and I think road position as well for Thierry Neuville, who had such a good weekend in Monte Carlo, didn't he?
He did, and here we are outside of Hyundai. Mikkelsen is not driving here in Sweden. We have Esa-Pekka Lappi back with us. You mentioned Thierry Neuville, and of course Ott Tänak, who won here last year. Every time he's been here has been with a different manufacturer, so he, you know, has a lot to get used to as well when he comes back the next time.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we saw him jump into the car in Monty, and he was fairly on it fairly quickly, wasn't he? So I would expect, for me, Thierry Neuville is going to struggle here, not as a result of the pace of the car, not as a result of the pace of him, but entirely because of road position. And that's the love-hate relationship you have with rounds 1 and 2 of the championship. You go and win Monte Carlo, but you're opening the road in Sweden, and he is effectively a snowplow for all the cars. He's clearing a clean line for everybody else. The studs on the car won't bite down into the ice. They'll be kind of floating on snow, so he won't get the grip levels, the optimum grip levels. So I think Thierry is going to struggle. Ott Tänak, he'll be there or thereabouts. I think he will be, and like you said, you can't second guess the man. He's got a lot of experience here. Again, not the perfect road position, but then you come to Esa-Pekka Lappi, who does have the perfect road position, and he's gone extremely well here in the past, hasn't he? So I think really, it's, for me, Hyundai, it's going to be Esa-Pekka Lappi will be the lead driver, then Ott Tänak, and then Thierry Neuville. But I might be wrong.
I think you're right. Esa-Pekka Lappi is going to give his countryman Kalle Rovanperä in Toyota a run for his money. Those two have grown up, of course, on the fast gravel roads, but also on this stuff. I mean, imagine how much driving the two of them have done in conditions like this. They absolutely love it. You mentioned that Esa-Pekka Lappi's, you know, had good results here in the past. He was doing really well last year, but he also was victim to one of these snowbanks. I think it was also a delaminated tyre on the stage. But fell unlucky there. So I think it'll be quite a big duel between the Finns at the top of the table.
Yeah, for sure. And look, you know, we're coming outside Toyota now, aren't we? There's an awful lot of excitement about Kalle Rovanperä being back in the championship and with no pressure. And we saw in shakedown this morning. He just got in the car and just drove it. There was no pressure. He just got in the car, and I think he will wring the neck of that Toyota this weekend. We'll see an awful lot of fireworks there. I think he's going to be extremely quick. For me, Kalle Rovanperä is the favourite to win this rally.
Now we have a couple of three drivers that are really sort of in contention for the World Championship title this year. Thierry Neuville, Ott Tänak, and this man right here, Elfyn Evans.
You went,
there
he is.
You know, he was leading in Monty. He was doing so well. Then he ran into, you know, some difficulties, struggling a bit with his confidence, you know, in the car. I saw an interview with him after Arctic Rally. You know, this was a winter rally up in the north of Finland, just maybe a couple of weeks or a week before this one, where, you know, he mentioned, we're not quite there yet. We need to do a bit more work. You know, have you spoken to him? What is your feeling about how he's feeling about this one?
Well, the first thing about Elfyn is, even when he's there, he'll still tell you he's never quite there. That's like the nature of a racing driver, rally driver, and a team. They're always looking for that extra 10th, aren't they? And Elfyn is very much like that. I think, yeah, okay, he had a reasonably good run at the Arctic Rally, didn't he? But the fact of the matter is he wasn't on the same pace as Kalle Rovanperä until Kalle had that technical issue. But this is a long-term goal. You know, this is it's a long season. Elfyn's got to be smart. He was smart in Monte Carlo. I think he had a spectacular rally. Lots of people were going, oh yeah, well, you know, he could have done better, should have done better. And actually, I think, you know, what he did on Thursday night was phenomenal, and then leading the rally for as long as he did, and then just driving smart. You need to get a good, strong start to your season. And for Elfyn, again, if he can come here and get a top 5, because he's second on the road, Molly. Yeah, so he's still cleaning a clean line for everybody else, and snow is expected. So if he can get a top 5 here, then I think, or anything higher, will be a good result for Elfyn Evans.
Over to Taka. Taka at Shakedown this morning was hilarious, saying, I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said, but he did say that he was driving terribly, but that the car was great. So if he was driving great and the car was great, then we could see something pretty spectacular from him.
He loves driving on snow and ice. He absolutely loves it, and he is quick, and we have seen Taka's pace building, particularly over the last 3-4 rallies. We saw what he did in Japan the end of last year. Now, of course, that didn't go the way that he wanted, and certainly not the way he deserved, but the pace was there. Same in Monte Carlo, all right? It kind of went wrong on day 1, but when there was no issues, Takamoto Katsuta was bang on the pace. That first rally win is coming. I can't wait for it to come. It's going to be a hell of a party, but you know, it's just a matter of building the speed, building the pace. But he's going to be quick here in Sweden. There's no two ways about it, Molly, because he's got road position on his side. He likes the conditions. He likes the snow and ice, and he's confident in the car. And when you're confident and you're enjoying your rally, and the times come.
And he was great here last year as well. He had some fantastic times, but unfortunately he rolled here last year. You know, so I sort of wonder, you know, is that kind of a little bit in the back of his mind, do you think?
I hope not. I hope he's sort of coming into this going, and I think you have to, again, be smart. Let other people make the mistakes, because there's not a great deal of pressure on Takamoto Katsuta's shoulders. Let other people make the mistakes. Just pick them off one by one. Make sure you're there or thereabouts pace-wise, and the results will come. Yeah.
So what are we thinking about Friday? Because I have heard that there's supposed to be coming a lot of snow, or maybe not a lot, but 10, 15 centimetres of fresh snow.
Yeah, I think in the afternoon as well, isn't it? It's due to get very, very snowy. So again, that's all working against Thierry Neuville. And the second pass, we know, can get incredibly rutted. You've got different cars coming through the stage as well. So you've got the Rally 1 cars, which are a certain track, and by that I mean the width of the car across the front of the car. And then you've got the Junior WRC cars, which is different. So basically you're getting tram lines being created in the stage. So when the Rally 1 guys come for the second pass, it's a completely different stage again. So if you add snow in on top of that, then it's a real test.
I don't think I'll ever forget Craig Breen's comments last year on the Bratby stage. He just said, this car is on rails. That feeling of just getting it right, having the wheels in the line there, and it just working, you know, I mean, he was just on fire.
Yeah, it was very special, wasn't it? He was a very happy man at the end of the stage. So it's a brilliant memory of him, isn't it? And we look back at that and you can't help but smile because he looks so happy. But yeah, the car was working for him, and he has been commemorated this weekend by the Bratby stage. He's the mayor of Bratby, and they've called it #42Bratby, which is lovely. And I'm sure there's going to be an awful lot of fans and flags and mayor of Bratby signs going up around there tomorrow, stages 2 and 5. So it's great that Craig has been commemorated here at Rally Sweden, because it was a hell of a rally last year for him.
I just have to touch on one thing before we move on. The glasses, the snow glasses.
Yeah, the Timo Salinens, the big boys.
How cool are they?
Yeah, they're class.
I want a pair.
Well, do you know what? Esa-Pekka Lappi gave me a pair 2 years ago. I meant to bring them. Yeah, quality.
You have to bring them to Rally Sweden.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe I forgot them. They were quality. Believe it or not, I do wear them at home as well. Not just to fancy dress parties, but they're important. You have to wear them because, or some drivers choose to wear them because it just helps you pick out certain parts, certain things on the stage. Because particularly when you're out in the plains where there's no trees either side, it's just a sea of white, and just to try and pick out your braking points or the apex of a corner, having those coloured glasses, the yellow or the orange tint, just helps a little bit. Some drivers do find that useful.
Well, here we are at M Sport. What's interesting here this weekend, Rich Milner's been team principal now for some seasons, but he is expecting his second child, which means that he's missing out on Rally Sweden. Understandably, we wish you both all the best. But Malcolm Wilson is team principal. When was he last team principal? I'm sure maybe he's subbed once before, but it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. We were on the plane together, and he's excited to be here. He's excited to get stuck in again, and he agreed that he's not expecting certainly Gregoire to go out and stick it on the top step of the podium. He's here to get experience. These things. Gregoire's had a couple of starts in Sweden, but it's a very, very different kettle of fish when you're in a Rally 1 car. It's a massive learning curve for him. Adrian, a little bit more. Again, if we can get a top 6 there, that would be a great result, I think, for Adrian foremost. So Malcolm's here. What he wants is the cars to go in the back of the trucks straight, not damaged. No silly mistakes from either the drivers or the team, and to leave here, I think with the top 6 would be a good result. And if they can bang in a top 5, then even better.
And what's interesting with M Sport, it's not just the 2 Rally 1 cars. They have Will Creighton has now, last year's Junior World Rally Champion is now in a Rally 2 Fiesta, and they have a zillion Junior WRC
a gazillion
trillion.
Yeah.
So many of them. I was at Shakedown today, just one after the other. Yeah, there's 19, not a zillion, but
it's
19. That's a lot.
Molly, that's class, isn't it? It's such a strong field for the Junior WRC, isn't it? And 13 new crews. Yeah. So six crews coming back from last year, 13 completely new crews, and that's all fresh blood for the future, and I think that's really exciting. And already we've seen Bruno Velaccia stick it on his roof, and I suspect there'll be a few more Fiestas just littering the stages in Sweden. But that's what it's all about. That is, you're here to learn. That's kind of what the Junior WRC is about. And I also love the point structure because it kind of puts a little bit of pressure on. You can score a point for every single stage that you win, and that's. I think that's a good thing as well. So yeah, there's a bit of pressure down there in the Junior WRC, and as you said, lots of Ford-branded cars knocking about.
Whilst we're on the subject of the juniors and also talking a lot about Craig Breen, there is now an award in his honour as well in that category.
Yeah, the Craig Breen Spirit of Rallying Award, and it's basically for a driver in the Junior WRC this year who most epitomises the best things about Craig Breen, both in and out of the car, and those are some serious shoes to fill. But somebody down there is going to get a very, very special award, and it's all about working with your teammates and having a positive attitude, and of course being able to deliver the goods in the car as well. So yeah, it's a lovely award that somebody is going to win at the end of the year. It's the first time it's been awarded. So it's a nice way to commemorate Craig, isn't it?
It is a really nice way. We have so much to look forward to. Rally starts Thursday evening with the Umeå stage at the Red Barn Arena.
That's right.
I hear the Prince of Sweden will be there. Paw Patrol's going to be there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm coming, baby. I'll take that. Paw Patrol's going to be there. Sign me up.
I've actually watched a lot of Paw Patrol the last year, so I'm looking forward to meeting them. But yeah, a lot of people are going to be headed that way. They put on a great show. It'll be there every single night as well of the rally, as well as a load of stages. So
wow.
What are you excited about, except for Paw Patrol?
Paw Patrol. That's me done. I think you've summed it up. We're going to have look, the weather is very, very unique. We do this once a year, don't we, Molly? So conditions are good. It's going to be interesting to see what Thierry Neuville and Elvin Evans in particular can do, because they are going to have road position to deal with. I think Kalle Rovanperä is going to be on fire with their brilliant stages. There's a massive test for the cars. I think there's a 1.7 kilometre straight on one stage where they're just flat out bouncing off the limiter. That's a great test for the hard limiter in the car. There's just, it's going to be a brilliant rally, and I'm excited. I'm excited to do some commentating, some shouting on it.
You're just going to be standing on the inside of a commentator's booth, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're trying to say that I'm going to be nice and warm,
note the difference in our shoes. That is the difference of our jobs as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's no. I will be inside more than Molly will, but I couldn't do the job you do, Molly. You're so good at it. You're so good at it.
Likewise.
There you go. Got it.
You got that in there. Well, I hope you enjoyed our small preview of Rally Sweden 2024. It's time to get to the action.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Coffee!
34 right sharp, middle, into